Blog Talk Radio.
Sherlock. Magical.
Hello, everyone. It is Sunday, May the 15th, recording live out of the nation's capital. You are now tuned in to PopGLitz Radio, Season 2. I am your host, JaVonni Brustow, the Media Mogul, Black conservative media consultant, and self-proclaimed asshole du jour, here with the latest in pop culture and entertainment. Here with me today is playwright and founder of theater Coven Productions, Tavon Vinson, and new PopGLitz.com team member and guest host, Rashida Shani. Okay, guys, are you ready for some trouble?
Yes, let's get into it, honey.
All right. In egg-throwing crazy white boy news, Justin Bieber just announced he was done with taking photos with fans. In the extensive Instagram rant, Bieber said, "If you happen to see me out somewhere, know that I'm not going to take a picture. I'm done taking pictures. It's gotten to the point that people won't even say hi to me or even recognize me as a human being. I feel like a zoo animal, and I want to be able to keep my sanity." Well, I've got news for you, Justin. I think you lost your sanity the day you were filmed posing in a restaurant, pissing a restaurant bucket and shouting, "Fuck Bill Clinton." Though I agree with the sentiment, it was inappropriate. So, guys, do you think that Justin Bieber announcing he's not going to take pictures with fans anymore is, how do you feel about that? Tavon, you first.
Okay, so I read this and I was like, okay, crazy. I can understand his intent. Let's go there. We understand the intent behind it. Like, all right. But there's a way to address that. Like, even drag queens, when they go take pictures with you, they say, hug me, just don't, hug me from the waist, because if you hug me around my shoulders, you're going to pull my wig off, so let's not do that. But you wouldn't be where you are without your fans. Like, let's not forget, like, it's not you don't owe them anything. You owe everything to them. So, like, you're not going to take pictures with your fans. I hope no one comes to your concert. It's crazy to me. Like, it's nonsense. You feel like a zoo animal? Oh, yeah, because pissing and saying fuck Bill Clinton, definitely. Like, that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good description. I mean, because you act like a zoo animal.
Throwing eggs at people and stuff, that makes you an animal. So
that's pretty much zoo animal behavior. What do you think, Richard?
Yeah, monkey so feast, so you throw eggs. I get it.
It is also a part of the culture that you're in, like the celebrity, you're a celebrity. This comes with the territory. So, and you've been how long in this industry? Like now, all of a sudden, you feel this way. So I don't understand, like, why now you feel this way. I just feel like he's probably at his kind of breaking point or something. I don't know if he's like.
Because he was just on break for like a year after being an asshole and out like taking pictures of prostitutes and everything. I mean, he was away for a whole year, and then he's been trying to get his career back together musically. And, he's having another meltdown. Like, get it together, dude.
He said he's doing it to, like, keep his sanity, but I'm like, I
don't know what there is to keep.
I think he's just on the verge of a breakdown, like Britney Spears is one of them, and he needs to go somewhere.
I mean, but she was doing pretty well before. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
And she just snapped. I mean, he has not been doing well. So, like, I'm afraid for what worse could there be if he had a breakdown? What would we expect?
And I get it. Like, there's a lot, like Rashida said, there's a lot that comes with that territory, but you need to find other outlets. Like, you're going to be in the public eye all the time, so anything you do, like, we're going to see. So I don't see why you taking pictures with your fans is going to keep you from losing your sanity.
And also, a part of that same statement that he had made, he also mentioned, like, and don't say, well, I bought your album, because what you did, you bought an album, that's what you got for your money. So that's it. Like, that was so rude to even put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, you don't need a picture because you got the album, that's what you paid for. You didn't pay for me taking pictures with you. It's just, like, such an asshole statement, and I think he's going to lose a lot of, like, fans with this attitude that he has right now.
And he would deserve it. I have no sympathy for a spoiled rich kid who gets millions of dollars to perform who doesn't have time for his fans. I mean, he's worth $100 million. Boo fucking who? Deal with it. Drive around. I heard someone on Fox News say, we drive around for hours looking for someone to recognize us, to ask for an autograph. Okay? Like, dude.
And like, my character he literally is in high heels. You know, I stick around and I'm saying my last costume because he want to take pictures and they want to say we saw this play and stuff. Like, I wish I would, but like, no, I cannot be seen.
Right. And then he needs to focus on his sound because I've been listening to some of his features lately, and he's trying to go with that Drake type sound. And it's like, bro, stick to what you originally like.
That's not for him.
Everybody wants to do that whole the six, I call it, that Bryson Tiller, Tory Lanez kind of Drake sound. And he was just featured on Chance the Rapper's mixtape, and he sounds just like a Drake, a mini Drake. And I'm like, come on.
Now, I have to mention that the other show that I'm on, Breitbart, Sunny Johnson, she said that she sometimes has to stand around for an hour, hour and a half with people who want to take photos after or speak to her after she speaks. And she said you have to realize that these people are real human beings as well, speaking of the celebrities or whoever you're going after.
Yeah, sure.
This is true, but again, I think that the millions of dollars that he makes kind of makes up for that. You know, that's a little different. I think that that's kind of enough reason for you to stick around.
Some celebrities, they do a few pictures and then they go. They have their security or someone be like, all right, that's enough. Like, they don't actually say it, but they get a few in there because they want to please, but they don't want to be too rude.
I agree. You have someone else be the bad guy. You don't say, okay, enough. Like, that's the whole purpose, and that's why people have assistants. That's why you have other people around you to guide the day. Like, you have a couple.
You're just smiling away. You smile away to the crowd, and you're going about your business.
Your security is supposed to walk you through, and again, they stop and say, okay, he's got to go, enough, and you're like, okay, I'm sorry, you know, and you keep going. That's how that works. And then if you want a break, just do it. You don't have to make a public announcement out of it. And so now everyone thinks that you're an asshole. Like, I woke up, and when I saw this on Fox News in the morning, I was like, why? Why are they talking about Justin Bieber and taking pictures? And
his the boys, like, it's not like he's in like Gaga heels all damn day, playing the piano, giving a whole performance, fall off stage, and then still be like, he doesn't, like, I've seen his performance, like, it's okay, it's cool, like, okay, little mini Usher, you got some dance moves, that's cute. But like, it's not like Beyonce, Gaga, and like people that's actually like gone on stage, giving a full performance in a storm while it's raining, or fell down damn steps, and then still sits around and takes pictures. Like, you give me some cute little dance, and you might pull a moonwalk in there. Thank you for the Michael Jackson little reference, and then like, you don't want to take pictures because you're so tired. You're so tired. You are tired. I'm tired of you. And his ex, Selena Gomez, she was concerned about his career. She said that if he didn't stop it, that he was going to be no more. So, I mean, you need to worry about that and worry about the people who are still around supporting you because, I mean, he's really been just a prick over the last couple of years. We have had to deal with him for years. Again, with the egg throwing, with the pissing in the bucket, all that good stuff, riding around his neighborhood 100 miles an hour. We had to deal with that. So, it's only fair that you hang around with your fans for a little bit. What were you saying, Rashida?
No, I said it just shows me that he has deeper issues he needs to deal with, and it's not about the picture taking. He has some work to do inside, like stuff he's done. Like, he just needs to focus on himself right now. Maybe he needs a little more break or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and speaking of spoiled brats, daytime television's spoiled brat / princess, Kelly Ripa. It's revealed that she's interested in releasing a book about the trauma that she experienced when her co-host Michael Strand.
Trauma, honey. Oh.
Yes, left the show without hardly any notice. Okay, guys, so this woman also is worth $100 million, like Justin Bieber. And this is how I feel about these two selfish, ornery, and cantankerous people. They want to inconvenience the entire fucking earth because they can't get their way. She took a private production matter and drug it all out into the media. And for what? She wants a book deal, the same book deal that Megyn Kelly's got after her fight with Donald Trump. She got She upgraded her talent agency that she's with. Michelle Fields is releasing a book, The One Who Pretended to Be Assaulted by Donald Trump's campaign manager. And Stacey Dash has a book coming out. After insulting the intelligence of every black Republican in America. And look, I happen to be a black Republican, and excuse my French, but I don't associate myself with that dumb bitch.
Oh, thank you.
So, what do you think about this book deal that she has, or this book deal that she's trying to get after this public tantrum that she's been having over the last couple weeks with Michael leaving?
I just feel like she's just trying to do some revenge tactic here with the network or whatever. Because after reading more about it, it's like she's just really upset that they didn't communicate with her. It's just like a payback kind of thing. Like, oh, now I'm going to tell all, and you know. So I think she's just in her feelings right now, like deep in it or whatever. I don't think she. I saw her try to like. I'm sorry, Rashida. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Continue. I definitely saw her try to. I mean, when I was reading the article in another article, she's like, we're a family here, and when things are done, you at least be able to tell us. But I kind of feel like also like when you're getting paid and the boss is in charge, like I don't really have to tell you a damn thing because I pay your, I pay your bills. So I think definitely what Rashida's saying, like she's trying to get, like I feel like she's trying to get like some good revenge. I'm leaving, like everything's happening. Let me act out, get some attention, and then get some money off of this too.
Well, look, so when she didn't show up to work for a couple of days on end, and she said that if she didn't come, or if she did go to work, she wasn't sure what she would do. Like she couldn't, she might not be able to control herself. But here's my thing: if there was ever any credence to give to the sentiment that women have no self-control, then this would be it. Like, she just gave people a reason to not hire women, because that none of them have any self-control over their feelings. They're emotional. They make irrational decisions. And here's the deal: you have a job, you go to work. Period. Like, there's just no reason to decide that I can't deal with this. I can't go. And then she came back on the show, and she was mocking his divorce. I don't know if you all saw that. Yeah. Yeah, and he never talks about that. And she's like, this is topic, and I don't really have much to say about it. But since you've been divorced before, what do you think? And the look on his face. Like, how's he? Like, she was just being shady boots on it. Yeah. My editor-in-chief said that women have feelings, and he was accusing me of being sexist. Because you see, the people, they have these issues and they discuss them on air. No, the fuck they don't. If you have a problem, if it's backstage, Rashida asked about, like, if she could curse. So this is your invitation. I think I heard like my fourth F-bomb. If you have an issue backstage, you fucking leave it there. That's the fucking deal. No one needed to know what was going on. She did not have to come to work. Claiming how friggin' distraught that she was. That out there, she does not represent all women. All women do not act in that manner. That's just her being the selfish. Right, but people people stereotype. I mean, I'm just saying that she's making it worse for others. CIC show and being like, everything's about her, and now he's leaving, and I don't know, maybe she's supposed to have way because everyone like left her or something, and she's still there. I don't know. Like, she can go too if she wants. I don't know. Like, everyone is replaceable. You might be the head of it. But I think he was a great addition to that show, and I really I congratulate him on his next move. But he's been really doing great in this. Well, he's more relevant than she is. I mean, his time and his sports career is more recent than her acting career. I mean, she left daytime television or soap operas in like 15 years ago. Yeah, so, I don't remember her. Yes, he's more relevant. He's technically more relevant than her. So yeah, she needs to get it together. And BET even did an article. They were inserting race into this, saying about how she doesn't, like it was an ownership thing, like the slave that ran away. That was kind of what they were hinting at.
Wow.
I admit I really didn't read the whole thing and kind of skimmed through it, but I'm not a race baiter, but hey, it does kind of feels that way.
Yeah.
Because as I last checked, isn't that show as far as them hosting? It's kind of a co-partnership. I mean, one is not really bigger than the other.
Yeah, basically.
But and either way, if she was doing a show, if she was doing a show by herself, I could see it. I don't know
why she can't be her by herself though. Do you think she needs a co-host to kind of hold her? To kind of
morning, that time of day, there's that banter.
Right.
So yeah.
Could you see her at nighttime TV?
No.
Late night? No. Okay.
I don't think she's that. I don't think she's that entertaining. Like before I had my coffee and she's talking to me, I'm like, all right, girl, so let's talk. But I feel like at night,
I like seeing people in different environments. I.
Yeah, you get to see like the different side because late night is kind of like relaxed, like you can be more,
But late nights generally for comedians. I do have to put that out there.
You're right.
Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, that's kind of a little hard one to pull off.
Yeah. Honestly, I never really watched her like that, the show like that, so I can't really.
Likewise, I mean, I wasn't looking until she started all this brouhaha.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It was foolishness. That's just like, why? And it's still going on. Like one of the last days of the show, she wore a hoodie that said freedom. Or a hoodie or t-shirt. But really? Yeah, freedom. Now that's where the slave comment came from, though. That was, I'm saying that's probably where it came from, but yeah. Or she felt free from him leaving. Look, she may have been married for 20-some-odd years, and he's had his couple divorces, but she was carrying on like they had a little something going on. Do you all remember when Mariah and Eminem were going back and forth with each other?
Uh-huh.
And she claimed nothing happened.
Why are you so obsessed with me? Yes.
I mean, but she was feeding into it. So, and I know her type. I feel like she decided to just dump him and, I'm going to act like nothing happened. And he's like, oh, yeah, bitch, something did. I'm going to show you.
See her and that, like, because, she's like, I'm a woman of this and one can get this out to the world.
That's kind of how I'm feeling about Kelly and Michael. It's just, like, this was extensive and ugly. It didn't have to happen. And again, you have a team of people. You have staff. If you had to produce everything and all on your own, as I do quite a bit by myself, I could understand being upset. I would still be going on about this through the rest of this month. But no, like, you have people to handle, who your co-host, et cetera, is going to be. It just, all this just could have been avoided. It didn't have to happen.
Yeah. My question is she mad at the network or Michael or both? Like, did she feel like Michael owed her?
Both.
Both.
I think that she said that they were friends, about the comment you made about it being a friendly environment. So therefore, the common courtesy of you saying something to me, and then also for her team or the staff, that they should have given her a heads up. And I could kind of see it.
No, I understand that, but I think she's going too far with it. Like, it's not that serious, like, to me, as personally, but I don't know where her gripe is with the situation.
I agree. I mean,
I would be upset, but not to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm going to throw shade at you, write a hello book, like, So it has to be something deeper into that nobody's talking about,
And see, I'm all for the diva tantrums now. I kind of pride myself in my professionalism, but I may or may not have had a couple in my lifetime. Okay, sometimes it happens. All right, I do a lot, and yeah.
You're right.
So she can be tough, but and hey, you can bless him out, you can bless the whole team out, but back in the day when Rosie O'Donnell, when everyone was, she was known as the Queen of Nice. And they said she was a bitch backstage. And they said about how she was just mistreating everyone and how horrible of a person that she was. But she never did it on camera.
Sure did.
For Real Housewives of Atlanta, Portia told Nene, she said, didn't you choke somebody? Because Nene was criticizing her for for being violent. And he said, "Is there film of it? Right. If I did, I'd have enough sense not to do it on camera."
Because Rosie was real good. She didn't get caught until that little video got released. After the little camera phone started getting good.
See, that's what technology came to play, changed everything.
But she did the right thing. You mistreat people and you go and be a bitch off camera. That's how that happens. That's how you handle it. And she had a good career for daytime television. She was extremely popular. If she decided not to go or come out or whatever, she very well. I mean, she was rivaling Oprah, to my understanding. They had very similar ratings, but
okay.
Alas, yeah. Rapper Azalea Banks, 2016's designated Twitter singer, is at it again. She described former One Direction singer Zayn Malik as the group's pet monkey and called him the quote-unquote token sand nigger from One Direction, a hairy, curry-scented bitch. And if that wasn't enough, she started going in on his mother. You know it's real when you gotta read somebody's mom. She called her a dirty refugee who won't be granted asylum. And then she starts reading children. 14-year-old Disney star Sky Jackson criticized her for being the raging moron that she is. She told her to get, and then Azalea went and told her she needed to get some ass and boob implants. Twitter took a look at all of her tweets and said it's about time we put an end to the only thing keeping her career alive, and they deleted her account. She's since come out and apologized, but we've got to do better. We're the ones who are giving this girl attention. We've got to stop gassing up these Twitter trolls trying to get on television or whatever. I have never heard an Azalea Banks song. I never hear anyone talk about an Azalea Banks song. I never see anything released. I still can't believe that she's an artist.
Oh yeah, I've heard her music. She's more popular in the indie world, like the festival indie world type stuff. But her apology was not genuine to me at all. I saw it.
No, not at all.
I felt like it was definitely a publicist that wrote that for her, and she basically posted that, and that she doesn't really believe any of the stuff that she wrote. Like, it just didn't come out genuine to me at all. It's just like, let me save face. Somebody might be suing me. Let me get back with Twitter. It's the only thing I have right now.
Now, do you remember Chingy? I think Chingy said something about Donald Trump, was it? And then I think it was Donald Trump recently. And then he did a video sitting in front of a camera and apologized. Like, it was like a written statement. I was like, who does that? I mean, that was a lot. And it was clear that someone forced him.
But what did you say that was so bad
to do it? I just thought about it, but hey, you know the stuff that people say about him. And my issue is, the man is so terrible. But God, the stuff that you all say about him is worse. I mean, she said that Azalea said that Sarah Palin needed to be gang raped by black men. Big, burly black men, in fact. I mean, that is really terrible. And she has not done anything to warrant that.
And then, like, the same people, that she's real quick to say something, and she's like, I can do that because I'm upset. And then it's like, no, well, actually, you can't, because these are the same people that's paying, well, I guess what little bit of people is left, that's paying your rent. Actually, she got dropped from what was
a festival in the UK.
Yeah,
she got dropped from 2 festivals. Of course, one wasn't as publicized because it's gay culture, but she was supposed to perform at the RuPaul's Drag Con. Also, got dropped from there, but because her and Tyra Sanchez, which was season 2 winner of RuPaul's Drag Race, and her got into it, and she called him a faggot, a sissy, and all this other stuff, and you faggots get, and RuPaul said, honey, you won't be a minor.
You can't bash someone who's booking you. Like, that's ridiculous. And I know people who do that all the time. Control yourself.
Yeah,
I mean, they've tried this with Chris Brown, for instance, for years. They've deleted his tweets. His management apparently has access to his account. They'll delete his tweets. Then he'll do it again. Then he'll delete his account. He would create another account, and it would be gone again. And it would just be this cycle. They were trying to help his stupid ass.
But he ain't want to be helped, son. You can't help someone who don't want to help themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he's just permanently fallen out of the A-list, and partially for his mouth. I mean, not to mention, breaking out his mother's windshield with a rock. I keep repeating it because I feel like every show, because I'm still shocked that he fucking did it. He broke out his mother's windshield. Who does that?
Oh, well, he's bipolar, honey. I don't know.
Is he bipolar?
Yeah, he got diagnosed. Yeah, when that whole it had came out, like he was bipolar. Like with the whole Rihanna thing, after the whole thing, therapy and everything.
Oh well, he needs to make sure he takes his medication because, I mean, Azalea has made a whole list and host of racist statements. I really hope that after this apology, that she'll make an effort to get her act together. You don't have to mean it.
I think
you don't have to give don't have to give a fuck. You just fucking act like you give a fuck. You don't.
Yeah.
I mean, your career is you're kind of at D-list status. I mean, can you not bash people who are booking you? Can you not bash your peers? The sand Negro comment.
She goes after Beyonce all the time. She goes after everybody. Anybody that's doing anything better than her.
She was talking about how we support white companies and white magazines, whites in the media, and I think it was conservative radio host Wayne Dupree who told her. He said, "Yeah, but you pose naked for Playboy. Who do you think owns Playboy?" Oh, If she didn't think about that one. Now,
she needed that coin, honey.
Yeah, she definitely deserved that the backlash for these comments. I know that Sarah Palin had threatened to sue her after the gang rape comment. I mean, you were possibly going to be vice president once. I really don't think that you need to address someone like that. I mean, you are basically feeding this person and giving her national attention. That's all that she wants.
All of this for, she wants the national, she wants to be known for the negative person and blow up.
And sidebar, I don't know if you remember, she actually wrote a letter. It was like a formal thing that she wrote. I mean, I remember because I have certain people, including her lately, her tweets set to come directly to my phone, and I saw a link to something on Tumblr, and it said, "Open letter to Sarah Palin." I said, "Really?"
Wow.
And girl, she's not even. She doesn't hold public office. She hasn't held public office in 10 years, I think. She isn't running for anything. Who's attacking Sarah Palin right now? For what? But
why did you pick her out of you?
Yeah, whatever. All right, guys. So I need help with this one. It's his last year in office, and President Obama, I guess, in his lack of demographics to pander to, him and his administration have issued nationwide bathroom rules. Businesses around the country are to allow people to use the restroom, shower, or locker room of their choice. Black pastors from across the country have been outraged at this administration's desire to change now the Civil Rights Act to include gender identity. The head of the Coalition of African-American Pastors said that if Martin Luther King were alive, he'd be angered as Jesus was when he started flipping over tables. There's some serious
That's a bit extreme, seeing as though Bayard Ruskin was one of the very influential people that actually helped Martin Luther King, who's openly gay. So I don't know if he would flip tables. We damn sure had to get help in him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say that.
Now, I guess to give some background information, I mean, the latest piece of news for this is that in North Carolina, I think the governor, not really the governor, our state legislature, has it set so that I think this is for just public restrooms. I mean, for public as in city government-owned buildings, whereby you are to go to the restroom of your natural-born gender.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a video not too long ago where a girl, I don't know if you saw this, Tavon, she was drugged out of the restroom. She was drugged out of the women's restroom because they were saying that she was a boy. And her friends were yelling, like, she's a girl, but she was, like, physically removed out of the bathroom. And I said, this is ridiculous. Like, this has really gone far. I think this started in Charlotte where they said that you can go to whatever restroom that you want. And the state said that you should not, the governor, he keeps repeating himself. He said that we should not be imposing laws on private industry. If you want to do that for, your city business, city-owned government buildings, fine, but you should not impose law on private industry. I want to know, when did any of this become an issue? I think that people have been going to, or transgenders or people in general have been going to whatever restroom that they please since the inception of bathrooms.
Yeah, definitely.
So, for what reason why is this an issue? I mean,
how did it become so, like, a big, like...
Yeah, we did not have some influx of transgenders raping people. I mean, even on Fox News, they had asked the governor that. They said, well, how many instances of violence or rape by transgenders in the restroom have happened in the last year? And he said, well, Governor, I don't know if it's been any. He said, well, the last 5 years. And he said that I'm
glad you said that, actually, because I was actually talking to my friend about this. I said, if I'm a transgender female and I'm going in a room with a girl, I don't think girls are what I want. Like, I don't think that's in the menu. Like, and if I'm a transgender male and I'm going in the bathroom with other men, I don't think I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a corner of this little boy because and I might like to do this.
I think what they're trying to like people who are kind of like against the whole thing, they're trying to say that people who are not of the transgender community and that they just act like they are to kind of be, try to use that to kind of be, what's the word, like a predator.
Pedophile, yeah, predator.
So it might, I don't think it's against the LGBT. I think it's more like, okay, if somebody else out there, a crazy, is going to use this, like, well, I am too, and be kind of predator and make a bad name for everybody else. That's what it's like the thing.
Right. I mean, is there the same thing with guns? I mean, there is no law that's going to stop someone from breaking the law and shooting up a school or something like that. Like, they can, if you put a no gun zone sign in front of your house and someone breaks in, okay, like that didn't stop anything. So now you are, less powerful. I mean, it's the same thing with the bathroom. You're not going to stop predators by announcing who can and can't go in the bathroom. And to ask the governor, well, if this was never an issue, then if you, as governor, if you had an issue with one of the cities making a law, why don't you just ignore it? I mean, if you don't like it, and there's never been any instances of a threat to anyone's safety, why not just leave it alone? Like, why are you? I mean, you are telling people that you have the right to ID people at the bathroom, and that was what kind of what got my attention. I was like, IDs? I mean, you're going to check?
What?
I mean, but if you're telling someone, it may or may not be the case, but if you're telling someone you have to go to the bathroom of your gender, then how do you confirm that?
Yeah.
Other than
can't look under their shirt, honey.
Okay, other than checking the person's ID. Yeah. But I don't think that there's any need for any type of legislation. I feel like the whole thing is stupid. People, if most transgenders, if you claim to be a woman, you most likely look like one.
Yeah.
Or maybe a skewed version of one. But for the most part, like, we get it.
Yeah, when they identify.
Nobody is. No one has been stopped. I'm not aware of there being some national issue of transgenders being hunted down at bathrooms. And I totally, I wouldn't support it, duh. But it's never been a friggin' issue.
You're right.
So
you're making it bigger than what it basically is right now, like, because it's like basically hasn't been an issue and people have been doing this already. So now it's like becoming more like magnified. Everybody's looking down on this thing like this is a big issue, and I think is going to make it more kind of like controversial by doing this.
Keep in mind that just because the law is on the books doesn't mean it has to be followed. So, I mean, I think that there are some states where you're not allowed to sell cars on Sunday. Yeah, like that's never been removed. That's an old school thing. So you don't have to follow this. And most businesses care about making money. So no major corporation, Walmart, McDonald's, Taco Bell, is going to be stopping people or they're going to be ID checking people at the bathroom. They're not, because all money is green. If you notice, the businesses that are not baking people cakes and whatnot are mom and pops. And I'm like, you deserve to be ignorant, and you deserve to not make any money. You deserve whatever happens. You deserve to go out of business. And I actually support I support that type of law to allow people to be that way. You know, and then when companies want to leave the state and leave the city, there are consequences to this. So, as I said, you can make whatever law you want, and I really do support that. But it shows how stupid you are. And there are consequences to every law. Most places you're going to go to are not going to exercise that, because you Economics 101 or Business 101, you do not insert religion and politics into business. You don't. You don't. And I don't care how many times people say that. Yeah, it does not work that way. Yeah. So, Rashida, had to go a little early. Before you do,
I was really enjoying it. I had a great time, debating with you guys about these topics, and I really enjoyed myself. Thank you guys for having me on.
Of course. And before going, do you have an announcement to make or anything like that? I'm going to ask off air. I'm sorry. Okay. Would you like to share, any social media or anything to be followed online?
Well, you can follow me on IG right now and Lady Shani, LADIE_SHANI for now. And I'll be back, guys, so don't worry. I really enjoyed myself today. And,
likewise.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure talking with you.
Yes. And I'll see you guys very soon.
Yeah.
Have a great one.
All right, you too.
Love from the Big Apple.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye. So, before we go, just add my 2 cents in that topic. The equation of, because I forgot, the original part was how the pastors felt about it, the comparison to civil rights. I mean, after we've decided that it's there was no reason to have this discussion, people go to the bathroom every day without an issue. And might I add that someone said that, I saw on Fox News, they said that women have stalls in the bathroom. So there are stalls, and nobody knows who has what or is going to see anything. So she said, this woman was like, but the stalls don't reach the floor. Really? So now you
pee under the stall.
No, so now you see that someone is going to stick their penis underneath the wall. Wow.
And rape you. Yeah, because that's how rape happens, under the stall. If you bend down, it happens. I'm telling you, this is how things happen, and that's what the fear comes from. I agree. Yep. That's because that's America.
As
smart.
Right, but as for, and I hadn't thought about this, the pastors who are enraged about this comparison to civil rights, it's one thing to compare gay rights and civil rights. A lot of people disagree. We can talk about being born this way, et cetera, which it's the same thing with race. That's fine. You can have that argument. The LGBT community can have that argument. But gender identity, therefore, is kind of more a decision. So, and not to mention, I don't think anyone has compared that to civil rights before. So the pastors are upset about it, all enraged at the Obama administration, at this president. Remember, you supported him, right? You supported everything else that he did.
Well, Obama was first started, it was like black man, Obama. When Obama first started, now you don't want his rules.
Yeah, so now that he's actually here and pushing these ideas, you're upset. Well, I'm sorry. No. This is the
time where
this is the man you supported. This is the ideology that you supported, so that you get what you voted for. So
all the time, like, you may not remember this, JaVonni, but maybe go ask, like, maybe like your great-grandparents. Remember all the time they couldn't use certain bathrooms? And, like, we had to do certain things so that, like, they could use certain bathrooms so that, like, today we can use certain bathrooms. Like, so even if, because I haven't heard anyone make that comparison, but it's kind of interesting that they did. And someone to say, like, those are two different issues. We don't have to do that. I kind of think even on that level that there was a time.
Yeah, I do think that the what is her title? Attorney General Loretta Lynch did make that comparison. But as I said, this is not. I mean, a lot of places are not going to entertain this.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I think,
and Target immediately was like, okay, well, we don't care. Like, I remember Target had a really quick turnover. They're like, oh, okay, well, we don't care.
They didn't have to. I mean, they didn't have to do that. I mean, I don't know what reason that they felt that they had to insert themselves into that. And their target audience is actually like women 35 and over with children. So that's really not a demographic that's going to be okay with that. It happens, like it already happens. People go in various bathrooms and nobody knows the difference. But now that you want to make a statement out of it, now you are creating a problem.
There's literally a video of a woman and her family. It's like, the little girl looks like, I don't care, Mom. But they're in that little jumpsuit, this white woman. And she's like, we're in front of Target, and we spend a lot of money here. But you know what? Not anymore. We're going to go to Walmart and take our business elsewhere because they aren't, they don't care about my child's safety in their bathrooms. And I'm like, yes, because Target is really sad that you're going. Target is so sad that you and your family
I'm sure that there are other people who will do that. I mean, it's the same thing with Chick-fil-A, with their statements and whatnot on gay marriage. Like, again, companies that large don't do that. I mean, because you are risking money. And that just goes against the purpose of going into business. So, I mean, there are consequences to making laws. That's what I'm just saying. So there will probably be other people who are going to stand outside and make those types of stupid videos. But that's your choice. That's the decision that you decided to make. And I'm going to leave that one there. In an interview with The Sun, Transformer actress Megan Fox said that she's a lot more conservative in her choice of films these days, and that there are just certain things children should not see their parents do. She says she's done her share of hot and steamy roles, including some that she's described as near pornographic. But now that she's a mother, she wants to be a better role model. She says it's one thing to be scantily clad on television and another for it to be your mother, for kids to see that as their parent. I have to say I wholeheartedly agree, and at 29 years old, she probably has more sense than people 20 years her elder, such as Madonna, for instance, showing up to the Met Gala with her bare white ass out. Madonna's adopted 25 children, most of them from Africa. And look, if I were one of those kids, I would happily go and self-deport. I would self-deport myself back to Africa, and I would enthusiastically walk those 5 miles for water every morning before school. Because if I were a poverty-stricken orphan, I would still be better off than having this woman, this international shame of a woman for my mother.
Oh, they're going to get you for that. They're going to get your ass for that. You will get some emails for that. You do not judge. Oh, my daughter is sacred. How dare you? But you know what? I think it was more sweet, and it kind of shows her growth. Because remember, she was younger, and she would say really outlandish, terrible shit, and then people were like, we don't want to work with you anymore. Remember she went through that little phase, and then now she's a little more conservative, and I think that's fine. I think that's her decision as a mother. For some people, it doesn't work, and some people, it's different ways to explain things to your kids, and she knows her kids. She said in her interview they don't know how to differentiate between art and the reality. So to them, it's like my mom is doing this with this other guy, but that's not daddy. So I totally understand. I think it was on her part. You know your kids, so I think that was smart for her. I thought it was really sweet, almost. Like, I was really, when I read it, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, go ahead, Megan.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Like, brought up Beyonce and, like, Partition. I mean, like, the whole sexy, but I was like, that's another reason. Beyonce knows it. Like, Beyonce knows, like, she's not in the position, hey, now, that I'll stop you. Yeah, she does. But no, like, she's not doing, but her racy stuff isn't like, Megan Fox was like, boobs out, like, I mean, even, what was the damn movie? This Is 40, like, there was a whole scene of, like, the actors, like, playing with her breasts, like, these are real, like poking them. I don't think, like, your kids aren't going to want to see that. Now, mommy on stage, when I get older and I see her on stage doing Partition, I'm like, mommy was a fox, like, yes. But, like, with Megan Fox, I'm watching these movies that you're in, and I'm like, all right, so that's not daddy. You cheating. Now, something's wrong here. And my friends are like, well, your mommy is on such and such, having sex with this guy. Like, I get it. I think it was a good decision on her part.
Well, Beyonce.
At least until the kids are older.
Well, I mean, she can't even comb her child's hair.
She is a natural child. No, you will not. Some people take these pictures at the most terrible time because you will not. Even you and I have times where we are not on point 100%. So if my child want to walk around,
I agree.
If my child want to walk around and her hair not done at some point, and I'm thinking, is in a tree taking pictures of us.
I literally give, I give them that. I give them the pass because, as tough as I am, I do acknowledge that they are real people. I get that. And I was totally understanding the first time that the child was outside with that brittle pad on their head, So then, like, after the fourth or fifth time, and even when she took a picture in like, some throne of a chair, I think in all gold or whatever, and in this gown, and you remember her hair was done, of course, eloquently, as it always is. And then her child was sitting there in the photo shoot, just as nappy as ever. Like, oh, you can get your hair done, but you can't do mine. She's treating that baby just like Michelle. I mean, the poor Michelle hashtag, now we're going to have poor Blue.
We will not have Blue. You're terrible. I'm going to write your email. I'm going to Blue after Madonna, and I'm going to send you a nasty little message on Instagram. Like, how dare you follow Queen B.
When she performed for the Grammys a few years ago, when she did, was it Partition or I don't know? Yeah, it was something else. Was it? I don't know.
Little,
with the wet dog Bob. No, it was something with Jay.
Drunken Love.
Yeah. I know it looked like she was drunk and poured a bottle over her head, but she had received all these FTC complaints about her appearance, and they said that, would you like it if I put my bare ass in your child's face? Because the Grammys aired like between 7 and 9, which is kind of considered family hour, technically, like by definition. So I think by Nielsen's definition,
so take off their shirts and bend women over. Because I damn sure. Remember back when Usher was that guy? Remember when Usher used to come out, take shirt off, and
I know before he started taking eggplant pictures.
But we keep body shaming him, which I'm totally focused with. Back in the day, if you was a little fit, it was okay. Now that everybody's team thick. God forbid if you're a little skinny, everybody's like, you need to eat. So you go ahead, take your picture, Usher, and show us things that we probably are going to screenshot. But you know what? Good for you. But yeah, as far as Megan Fox, like I definitely, I thought it was sweet, and I thought it was a very mature decision to make. Because especially in acting, that's your career. Like how are you going to promote yourself and what things people were going to see is how you. That's your decision ultimately. But to at least have her kids in mind and say, like, I'm starting to notice something. Because it's one thing the fans say something, but like I'm starting to notice my children are not really. They're not getting that this is art and this isn't like something like. Real. To make that decision.
Yes, I mean it's good to let your children know. But the other thing, playing the devil's advocate. First, I mean I tend to be critical on parenting, just because I can be. I mean, this is the next generation that we're going to be taking care of, or be taking care of us. the ones that were going to be training and at work, etc. So yeah, I don't want to be, hey, I want to have some say in what's going to be following me. But she's only 29. So, have a little fun. I mean, you've still got
her career from she's 29 with 3 kids.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, right? She's done a lot of racy stuff. I still remember when she did there was a terrible movie with her being a demon. I forgot Jennifer's Body.
I feel like it's aging me. It's making me feel old. Like I just turned 30. She was always the sex kid, and she has that for some time. So even though she is only 29, you do got 3 kids. You have to adapt to the situation. I think she's had a lot of fun. I mean, also having experience being the sex kitten, I should probably hang it up too. But no, I'm like, she's still kind of young. I started this year. I was turning 30 in February, and I said that I wanted to have fun. That's something that I've repeated this year. I started a lot of new projects, et cetera, just because I was I needed to shake things up. And here I am reading the story from this 29-year-old and I actually confused her for someone else. I can't think of the show, but there was this kind of TMZ spinoff type of thing, and I just can't think of the life of me this woman's name with her face that won't move. It was a sitcom that was made in the like of TMZ back in 2007. It's a long damn time ago to be going back. And that's who I thought they were talking about. And I was literally writing notes about this thinking it was her because I was good. I was she's 50? She should be calming down. And I looked, I was oh, Megan Fox, she's 29. What the hell? I mean, go. You still got some more time to mess up. You still have time to go and shave your head and ride around L.A., and check into 3 hotels at night.
That's how you end up with a Bieber, and then you end up being a bad talked around the city because you feel like she's young and she listened to you, and then she's gone out and shook her ass somewhere and ended up on something terrible instead of something sweet like I'm gonna tone it down for my 3 kids.
Okay,
is that what you want, JaVonni? Is that what you want?
Hey, I've never claimed to be the best role model. All right. Okay, so wrapping up, this show has been brought to you by our parent company, VM3 Media, your destination for all your communication and media consulting needs. And until next time, we're airing each and every Sunday live at 3 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you go to PopGLitz.com for the latest in celebrity news. And before I go, Tavon, tell me about this play that you're working on.
So we Theater Coven Productions. We did What We're Taught, which is we've actually just wrapped up. It's actually a play about an 8 group of friends, and we're learning how they're at that point in lives where everyone's reaching for their next goal. But as you start doing better, you start realizing everyone is reaching near you and reaching with you. They're trying to pull you down. So there's a lot of jealousy and spitefulness, and everyone's learning, okay, well, you're not really my friend, what I thought. Yeah. So there's a lesson being there. But each character stands for a black, African American individual in Baltimore. That I feel like anyone has the potential to become any of these characters. And after doing the show, we get a lot of people that's oh, I like this person, I like that person. Anything that I do will always have LGBT something in it. So there will always be LGBT characters or some kind of theme or something, because I like the unification of heterosexual and homosexual characters.
I appreciate the positive image that you're putting out of the LGBT community, not to mention after the last year or so of news of Baltimore, I'm glad to hear something positive coming from out of there.
Yeah, we were trying our best.
You don't have any fire scenes, do you?
Not at all. I'm actually working. Hopefully, we'll be after I get this web series together. We'll hopefully be able to come to DC and some other states and do the show. Because I think we've done it in Baltimore twice already. So hopefully, I'll start figuring out how can I get this in DC.
Yeah, hopefully so. And I know it totally is actually sounds obvious. I lost my script. But anyway, guys, we will be I'll be back live next Sunday at 3 o'clock, and I will look forward to speaking to you all then.